welcome to Mike Drops the Mic. I'm Michael Lyman, and today I'm joined by current wide receiver, the Denver Broncos, Kendall Hinton, and he was also the emergency quarterback last year. Kendall, how you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you, Mike?
Hey, not doing too bad. So like I mentioned, you were the emergency quarterback last year, and right now you're with the Broncos. But I want to take it a step back. Your college experience, you played at Wake Forest. When you went there, you started out as a quarterback, correct?
Right.
When did you make the transition to wide receiver?
Yeah, so I made the transition. This was training camp going into my red shirt junior year. So I started working into that training camp that year. Started working as a receiver. I was, it was still pretty new. So I was learning it, getting the hang of it, and then like the third game of the season, I think that year, we had a quarterback go down, or maybe even two. So they put me back in the quarterback room that year. So my red shirt junior year, I was pretty much in the quarterback room, probably about 75% of the time. I'm just trying to learn the offense, or not learn the offense, but learn schemes for the week, and in the receiver room for the rest of the time, trying to learn the position and whatnot. So that's kind of where the transition started. Then from there on. Yeah.
And then your senior year, you played wide receiver as well after that. And your senior season after that, COVID-19, which impacted so many people. That's right, when you're trying to get drafted and working out for teams. What was that like, having to deal with COVID when you're trying to, make a push to get on an NFL roster?
Yeah, it was tough. It was, I think what made it so stressful is the fact that you had no control over, kind of anything, and you had no idea what the next steps was going to be. That goes along with the entire world. We had no idea how things would play out, what the future would hold. So I was in that same boat. I had a really good senior year, and had some decent stats, and so I'm just trying to get in front of these scouts and hopefully show them what I can do, show them the speed, my 40 and all those different combine things that will help me out in the draft process, just because I was so new at the position. But yeah, like you said, COVID popped up on us, and it kind of wrecked a lot of stuff for the guys coming in that year. So ended up getting my pro day canceled, so I wasn't able to get out there in front of those scouts, and so that's where it started. That's what made it really tough, and so I'm just hoping I get a call at that point. Somebody takes a chance, because I've been playing the position for 1 year, and it's kind of a big chance for a team to take this very raw player, and so yeah, Denver, they gave me an opportunity, gave me a shot, and so that COVID year was 2020.
Correct. Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, so we had no OTAs. So we pretty much came straight into training camp. Now, I'm going from my last game in college straight into NFL training camp without, no learning curve, no transition. So, that made it a lot tougher for sure, trying to learn this NFL offense in such a short amount of time. And then in the same token, teams weren't offering many jobs, just because it was stressful for everybody, and they weren't able to look at anybody else. No preseason, so it cut down a lot of the opportunities for sure.
I'm sure they were looking at a lot of veterans and guys that they had seen actually play at that level in the NFL, and you didn't have that opportunity to go out there as a new guy and show what you could do.
Exactly.
Now, you had the chance that you made the practice squad for the Broncos at wide receiver. What were you doing when you got the phone call saying, hey, you're going to be, we want you to come out, and what emotions and what were you doing when you got that call?
Yeah, I wish it worked out like that. So when you get moved to practice squad, teams, they have to waive you or release you first. and you know, you go through the waiver process, and if nobody claims you, you know, that's when you're able to be back on practice squad. So the first call, if you don't get a call, that's when you make the roster. So I'm hoping I don't get a call, but now I was actually at the barbershop getting a haircut, and I got the call, and you know, you pretty much already know what that means. So they brought me in, and you know, versus last year where I was sent home. You know, COVID made it really tough, and didn't quite do what it took to make the team. So last year I was sent home, but this year, they kind of brought me in and said, "Hey, you're gonna if you clear waivers, we definitely want you back. We want you back on practice squad. You know, and so you can continue to develop."
Sure.
So, it was a much better feeling this year.
Yeah.
About that.
So I want to talk about last season, week 12, you guys played the Saints.
Right.
And there were so many restrictions in place with COVID. You know, everybody had to wear their masks and socially distance and things like that. And the Broncos unfortunately got in a situation where one of their quarterbacks, correct me if I'm wrong, got COVID. And it just so happened that the people he was around at the time were the other quarterbacks on the roster and the QB on the practice squad. So they had to resort to an emergency quarterback, which ended up being you. So
Right.
you got to live the dream that so many guys growing up want to play quarterback in the NFL. Your mindset is just on wide receiver at this point. What emotions did you feel when you got the phone call saying, "Hey, you're going to be the starter quarterback against the elite, the Saints defense is top of the league." So what emotions did you feel when you found that out?
It was surreal. It took me a while to really, to realize like this was real. So my coach pretty much called me. He's like, "Hey, the situation with all the quarterbacks out, like we're gonna need you back at the facility to get ready to play quarterback tomorrow." And so I'm just like, I'm lost. Lost for words, and I'm headed to the airport to pick somebody up because for practice squad guys, our weekends once you finish practicing, you're down for a weekend. So I was already in that mindset, and he gave me a call, and he's like, we need you back to play quarterback. And so my heart dropped. I was probably shaking for like 5 minutes. And I called all my people and let them know the situation. But I mean, for sure, it was terrifying to hear just being thrown in that position with no practice. I think that night we had like a 30-minute walkthrough, but no, I mean it kind of went through some different emotions. It was fear, anxious, but excitement at the same time. Just to get back out there and see some live bullets again. So,
how many hours did you have? Would you say, like, how long was it from when you got the phone call that, hey, you're going to be starting on Sunday, to actually stepping on the field and playing football?
Yeah, so I probably got the call about 7:00 that Saturday night. So 7:00 that Saturday night, we go do the walkthrough at about. Brought all the offensive guys back. We do a walkthrough about 8:00. So like a 30-minute walkthrough, and we try to squeeze in like all 10, 15 plays we were going to run. So this is about 7:00 got the call. We finished up walkthrough about 9:00. And so our game on Sunday, I think it was a 12:00 game. So, I'm up early around 7:00, getting ready for that game. So I guess 15, somewhere around there.
Somewhere, yeah. And you have to had so many emotions the night before. I'm sure you had trouble sleeping. You're nervous, you're excited, and all that. Would you say when you stepped on the field on Sunday, was it more like an, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that I'm playing in my first NFL game as a starting quarterback, or were you so nervous? And like, what would you say was the primary emotion between the two?
Yeah, you hit it on the spot. It was, and I think the biggest part of that was I haven't played football in about 2.5 years, since my last college game. So stepping on the field is like, all right, not only am I, back to playing football, I'm getting hit, I'm getting tackled, people are flying around at a different speed that I've never seen before. But at the same time, like I'm playing quarterback, a position I haven't played in years. And so it was just, it was nerves for sure. I'm shaking on my first snap trying to catch catch the snap, but yeah, definitely a lot of nerves, especially the first few plays, and I think as the game went on, kind of got settled. But I mean, at the same time, it's one of the best defensive teams in the NFL. So the speed of the game is so much different. It's night and day. So even once I felt comfortable, it was still bullets flying and a lot going on.
Like we talked about, the Saints defense, one of the best in the NFL. And I'm sure it's the little things that even that I can't think of and other people that when you're actually in that situation, it makes it difficult. I mean, when you have that few of hours, something that people take so for granted is the center QB exchange. I mean, they go through those snaps thousands of times before the game. And you took everything from the shotgun then, correct?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You hit on it. The QB center exchange is huge and definitely gets overlooked a lot. So coming into the game, we didn't have time to even think about working on that. So we just stayed in the gun and played it from there.
And I'm assume that limits your playbook so much because you had, going into that week, they had a different playbook in mind for what they were going to play against the Saints that week. Approximately how many plays did they have open to you of you throwing the ball where they said, okay, like how many plays did you have to, was it a lot of shallow crosses, quick slants, screens?
No, it wasn't. It was, we had a few quick game concepts. But I'd say more so for verticals, down the field plays, just because that's what I felt most comfortable with. Going into the game, I haven't thrown a ball in so long, so that's what the past game we tried to look at, sprinkling in some quick game here and there, which it seems easy, but quick game is a lot harder when you're 5'10", sitting in the pocket. So we did. We focused on the down the field plays and then just running the ball. So we took almost 75-80% of the original playbook out.
So then you completed your first pass to tight end Noah Fan, right? When you finally completed that pass and you're like, oh my gosh, I just threw a pass in the NFL, that had to be such an amazing feeling that, 99.999% of people will never experience. So you accomplished an amazing feat by going out there and playing quarterback as the emergency quarterback with such short notice, After the game, there were all kinds of, your teammates supporting you, even players from the Saints, across the media, all saying, hey, what Kendall did, what he achieved, that's no small feat at all, actually stepping out there and playing an NFL game. Was there any piece of supporting advice or anything that, a former player or a teammate said to you that stuck with you specifically about the game?
No, my team, my guys gave crazy encouragement throughout the whole time. So no, they made it a lot easier. I'd say if I had to point out one person that I got some feedback from, I think it was Kurt Warner, which was crazy because I grew up admiring Kurt Warner and what he did in the league. So to hear him even mention my name. It was great to see him. It was definitely love.
That's such an NFL legend. Yeah, that's awesome. So we got the new season coming up here. What individual goals do you have for yourself this season? Just trying to get better and improve, or do you have any specific goals?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a part of it. Improving every day and in every facet wherever I can. I'd say definitely becoming a value to special teams, finding a place on teams to make an impact for our guys, and yeah, and getting out there and playing. With practice squad, it's you're only one play away, so just staying prepared and continuing to develop throughout the season.
One last thing I want to do. I'm doing a thing where it's 7 quick questions at the very end. It's just short answers, but it's some interesting questions, football related and not football related. So I'm interesting, things I'd like to hear about you, if that's okay.
Do it.
All right. Number 1, what was your favorite team growing up?
New York Giants.
And that's who you guys play this week.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Football idol.
Sheesh. I've always loved Aaron Rodgers to this day. So yeah, I'd say that's my guy.
Okay. What about other sports? Did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, coming up, I was basketball, did some baseball up until high school, and ran a little track. So yeah, I was all over the place coming up.
Before a game or when you're working out, what's your favorite song to listen to?
I usually so I got like this superstitious thing. Before games, I got a few songs by J. Cole that I gotta hear. Like a Star and Omen. But other than that, working out, chilling, I'm all over the place.
Okay. All-time favorite movie?
Forrest Gump.
Oh, okay. That's classic.
Classic for sure.
Do you play Madden?
I can play, but no, I don't play on the regular.
Okay. My follow-up to that was gonna be if you did play Madden, besides the Broncos, what team are you gonna play as?
Green Bay.
Oh, okay. And last question. If now there's a lot of jersey swaps in the NFL after games where it's a sign of respect and admiration between players to exchange jerseys. If you could receive a jersey from any current player in the NFL, whose jersey would you want?
Jeez. I'm trying to think of a receiver or a defensive back whose game I really respect.
Not Aaron Rodgers?
Well, yeah, I mean Aaron Rodgers would be off the jump, but I don't even think Aaron Rodgers would want.
Hey, you could get his though,
Yeah, I would love an Aaron Rodgers jersey. Yeah, I have to think about that one for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and talking to me for a little bit. Good luck this season. I'm sure it's going to go well, and you're going to continue to improve and get better every day.
I appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You too.